You're watching sStoryBoy, a place where horror meets the unknown. Every story here takes you deep into the dark, into what most people are too afraid to see. If you love mysterious and spine-chilling tales, make sure to subscribe and turn off the lights because this story is not for the faint-hearted. Use headphones for best experience. Now let's begin the story. It was late October when the cold winds of the Rocky Mountains started to whisper through the pines. Daniel and Emma, a married couple from Chicago, had planned this trip for months. They needed space, silence, and maybe a chance to fix what had quietly broken between them. Daniel was an architect, tired of deadlines and concrete walls. Emma was a photographer, drawn to forgotten places and lost beauty. Her new project was about solitude, capturing the emotion of abandoned spaces. They rented a silver SUV, packed their bags, and started their drive into the mountains. The further they went, the weaker the radio grew, until all that remained was static and the low hum of the wind. By nightfall, rain began to fall. Fog swallowed the trees, and when their GPS signal died, they saw it, a flickering red light through the mist, a neon sign that read, Hillside Motel vacancy. They didn't know. This place hadn't been open for 30 years. The motel stood in silence, half buried in the fog. A long stretch of cracked asphalt, peeling paint, and empty windows staring back at them like blind eyes. Daniel parked the SUV, leaving the headlights on. The rain hissed against the hood as he stepped out, his boots sinking into mud. The office door creaked open when he pushed it, and the sound echoed through the empty valley. Inside, dust, cobwebs, and the faint glow of a single lamp. Old photos hung on the wall, smiling families, road trippers, and a man in a suit standing proudly in front of the motel. But everything looked decades old. On the counter, a guest book thick with dust, and hanging behind it, a single key, room 7. Below it, a note, written in shaky letters, "Welcome back." Daniel frowned, calling out softly, but no one answered. Then a sound. The old rotary phone on the counter began to ring. Its shrill tone cut through the silence like a scream. He hesitated, then picked it up. "Hello," a faint whisper came through. A woman's voice. "Don't stay." The line went dead. Rain poured harder as Daniel returned to the SUV. Emma was waiting inside, her face pale. He showed her the key. "Room 7, he said. They decided to stay, just for the night. The door to room 7 opened with a long, aching sound. The smell inside was old, damp carpet, rust, and something else like metal and mold. A flickering bulb hung from the ceiling, barely lighting the room. Emma ran her hand over the dresser, dust thick as ash. She tried to smile, but even her laughter sounded trapped. The wallpaper peeled in long strips. The bedspread was faded and cold. In the corner, an old television sat unplugged, yet humming faintly as if waiting. They unpacked quietly. Outside, thunder echoed through the hills, and through the window, Daniel saw a shadow standing near the motel sign. It didn't move even when lightning flashed. When he looked again, it was gone. By midnight, the storm had swallowed the world. The television flickered to life, even though it wasn't plugged in. Static filled the air like whispers in the dark. Emma sat up, her heart pounding. She stared at the screen, shapes forming in the static, faces faint and flickering. Then came voices, soft, overlapping, a chorus whispering. They never left. Room 7. The power died. The lamp went out, and the room fell into darkness. Daniel woke to the sound of footsteps. Slow, wet. They circled the door, then stopped. A knock. Once, twice, 3 times. He held his breath, reached for the handle. Before he could turn it, the door opened on its own. Rain light spilled in, and there in the hallway stood a man, pale, dripping, eyes hollow and black. He pointed toward the mirror. Daniel turned slowly and froze. In the mirror, he saw himself and Emma lying still on the bed. Their reflections were pale, lifeless, unmoving. As Daniel stared, the reflection began to rot. Faces sinking, skin darkening, eyes hollowing into black pits. The man whispered, voice cracking like dry wood, "Welcome back. Room 7 remembers." The lights flickered violently. The walls began to breathe. Every photo, every mirror in the room warped and twisted, showing not them, but dozens of faces, all trapped, all watching. Emma screamed, but no sound came out. The door slammed shut. Darkness swallowed everything. And then, silence. The storm outside faded. The rain stopped. The motel stood still again. When the sun finally rose, a truck driver passing by saw the SUV still parked outside. Its doors open, headlights on, but no one inside. Room 7 was empty, except for a camera. Emma's camera. The last photo showed them sleeping on the bed, and in the mirror behind, a shadow watching. Locals still whisper about the motel in the fog. They say it burned down in 1993 after a couple died there. But on stormy nights, travelers sometimes see a flickering red sign through the mist. Hillside Motel vacancy. And those who stop, those who check in, never leave. Somewhere in the Rockies, the wind still carries their names. Daniel, Emma, and the faint whisper of Room 7 calling again. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to sStoryBoy. There are many more chilling tales waiting for you here. So make sure to explore our other stories, because every shadow hides another secret.